You're a domain expert in EEG, specifically focusing on EEG for epilepsy, with additional expertise in implantable devices and hearing data processing. You've completed a degree in electronics engineering, followed by a PhD focused on cochlear implants, and have spent 8 years developing a brain-computer interface, BCI implant, that's currently progressing through an epilepsy clinical trial.
Okay, what website are we working on?
You're working on bionichaos.com, where you develop open-source biomedical data processing and biotech projects. Your current focus is on EEG for epilepsy, along with other biomedical applications.
Okay, what's the most interesting tool that you like? Bias opinion is fine on the website.
One of the most interesting tools on bionichaos.com is the EEG to music tool. It creatively maps EEG data into musical elements, providing an engaging way to explore brainwave patterns through sound. It stands out because it uniquely blends neuroscience with music, making it both educational and enjoyable.
Yeah, you're always mentioning this one. How about what's the other tools that you really like on the website?
Another tool that's quite fascinating is the Cardio Rock. It transforms ECG data into interactive visualizations. The tool is intriguing because it integrates gamification, making learning about cardiac rhythms both fun and educational.
Yeah, we actually haven't touched that one for a while. Do you remember if it's complete? Do you have anything, what do you have in the memory about it? Or are you browsing the web for it?
Yes, the Cardio Rock tool was last discussed in October. There was an idea to add sound effects when clicking on waveforms to enhance engagement. However, I'm not browsing the web for updates at the moment. If you want the latest information, I can certainly check.
Yeah, can you check?
I couldn't find any recent updates for the Cardio Rock tool. However, a video from October mentions plans to add sound effects for enhanced user engagement. If you'd like, you can check out the video for more details.
Yeah, okay, now move to something else.
Sure, what would you like to talk about next?
Well, we sticking on topic. We are talking about the website. So, any other tools that you like, or something that is missing?
One tool that's quite promising is the Audiogram Visualizer and Interpreter. It's designed to help users visualize their hearing data in real time. This tool is particularly interesting because it integrates real-time feedback, allowing users to respond with "I hear it" during hearing tests. It also provides an option for users to download their audiogram as an image. If there's something specific you'd like to know or discuss about this tool, feel free to let me know.
Yes, so currently the I hear it doesn't actually work. You actually have to you actually have to set the threshold of your hearing manually. But yeah, we're making another tool that is related to this one. Do you remember what it was?
Yes, you're working on the EMG signal simulator, which is related to the audiogram visualizer in
No,
terms
how
of
is
real-time feedback.
EMG? No, no, no. We were doing a hearing related tool. Do you remember what it was?
Yes, you're developing the audiogram visualizer and interpreter. This tool allows users to visualize their hearing data in real time. It's designed to help users identify their hearing thresholds more effectively. And you're working on features like real-time feedback and the ability for users to say, "I hear it" during tests. If there's something specific you'd like to focus on regarding this tool, feel free to let me know.
No, we're doing like relevant tools. What relevant tools to hearing we have on the site?
In addition to the audiogram visualizer and interpreter, another relevant tool related to hearing on your site is the cochlear implant simulation. This tool is designed to simulate how cochlear implants process sound, offering users an educational experience to understand the technology better. It's particularly valuable for those interested in hearing data and auditory processing.
What else did we have hearing related or speech related?
For hearing and speech-related tools, you also have the Audiogram Visualizer, which helps users map their hearing thresholds. Additionally, you might be working on tools that simulate or interpret speech processing or hearing aids, given your expertise in cochlear implants and hearing data.
Okay, so you're not browsing the web, so that's okay. I'll just let you know. Yeah, we do have a speech analysis tool already deployed on the website. We actually have two of them, like we have an older version and a newer version as well. For some reason, only the new version is showing when we selecting hearing. Eventually, for the main page, we are making a chatbot that will essentially be trained on the data or all the data on the website. So you could chat essentially with the website. It will provide you links and also answer more general questions, but we will touch on it a bit later. We have a bunch of tools that are not working at the moment that we need to fix. We actually have a Python code that is actually checking the website and going over all the XML, the sitemap, and checking each tool for anything that is missing, for anything broken in it. So we'll be going over that list. Yeah, can you ask me a quick question before we continue?
Sure, here's a quick question. How do you envision integrating the chatbot with your existing tools on the site?
Right, well, that's actually a great question. Yeah, so currently we have a very basic search. We have a drop-down search and a search tool text box. So if you put speech, I don't even know how to spell properly. Yes, speech. So we have this tool, real-time speech visualizer. We have a new version and an old version, but yeah, don't worry about that. We're actually using those in live streams to actually talk to multiple large language models. So we're essentially just transcribing my speech real time, and then we are popping it into different LLMs to see what different responses we get. A quick question on that.
That's a fascinating setup, using real-time transcription to feed different LLMs and compare responses. How do you plan to utilize this functionality in your live streams?
I'm already using it in a live stream. That was not a great question, actually. Can we go back to the site? I'm just looking at it myself. Yeah, if you have any super quick questions, go for it. But
Sure, here's a quick one. What's the primary goal you're aiming for with the new chatbot on your site?
right, so, yeah, the chatbot. Yeah, so currently we have basic search, but both drop down with a list of topics that we cover on the website. We have also open search text box, but the chat will be obviously more comprehensive. So I'm not sure if the chat, yeah, it will be just another link. Essentially will be a standalone tool with a link on the landing page. Maybe just a quick question before we moving on.
Got it. How do you envision the chatbot enhancing the user experience compared to the current search options?
Okay, don't worry about the chatbot. We just want to move on.
Sure, let's move on. What's next on your mind?
Yeah, we have a whole list of things that we need to deploy.
That sounds like a lot to tackle. What's at the top of your deployment list?
Right, yeah, we have a whole list of things. Essentially, we have this Python code that is checking the new applications if they're ready to be deployed or not, and it's just checking for if there is enough description on the page. So, for example, we have a bunch of versions of a hearing aid web application. We have 5 versions already.
Managing multiple versions of a single tool can definitely get complex. Are you considering consolidating these versions, or do they each serve a unique purpose?
Yeah, I don't actually remember. Can you imagine?
It's understandable if the different versions offer various features or improvements. If you'd like, I can help brainstorm ways to streamline them or highlight the most distinct features of each version. Would that be helpful?
Yeah, we'll probably just go quickly over the 5 versions and get rid of the stuff that isn't working.
That sounds like a practical approach. Reviewing each version quickly will help identify what's working and what's not. Are there specific features or functionalities that you already know need to be removed or changed?
Yeah, so we have the first version. It's actually working. It's actually
That's great to hear.
working. Is
How
it
about the
working?
second version?
Yeah, it is. So there is an amplification and everything. We're still on the first version. There's a noise reduction. Noise reduction 100%. And noise reduction of 0. I can actually hear the noise. Input level.
Seems like
The input level button doesn't actually work. There is multiple. There's multiple modes: normal mode, speech, focus, and noise reduction. There should be also like music mode, and things like that. I do like it in general. Yeah, I like the interface. And it's nice and simple. Yeah, eventually after we go this 5 different hearing aid web application versions, we will actually try and create instructions, a full set standalone instructions for another developer to do the coding. We'll actually be putting it into Claude, which meant to be better at coding. Okay, we have another one. The second version is actually more complicated. No, that's actually fine. You have presets, normal, medium, moderate hearing loss, normal hearing, mild hearing loss. So I like the presets. If you start the microphone, yeah, there's also, yeah, we were talking about an option of playing demo sounds. So this will be pre-recorded audio. That one doesn't work anymore at the moment. Yeah, we'll have, should have had an error for it. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, the frequency gains can be vertical instead of horizontal. So we have those sliders. Yeah, it can be essentially frequency. It could be actually a chart. It could be just, can we do in one of those visualization toolkits, JavaScript toolkits, do a chart where you can actually move the data points up and down. So essentially the idea is, long story short, is that you will have your audiogram that was generated using another tool, or you got it from your clinician, or you got it from another hearing test that we have on the website that isn't calibrated, so you shouldn't be using it for medical purposes. But you take the audiogram for it. By the way, that tool we should update it. Currently it's only allowing to download an audiogram as an image, but we also want an option to download the audiogram as your JSON or XML file, whichever, your text file, doesn't really matter. Then the idea is that you could load it into your hearing aid tool. You will have your audiogram displayed on the chart. Yeah, frequency gain chart, so frequency on the x-axis and your hearing loss in decibels on your y-axis. And then you could adjust. You will have 2 graphs on your chart. One is for your audiogram, your hearing status, and the other one will be the settings of the hearing aid. So you could move the data points up and down to set the gain on your hearing aid device, which is simulated by the microphone and headphones of your device, so whatever you have connected to your computer or your phone or whatever it is you're using at the moment.
Implementing a chart-based interface sounds like a great way to visually align the user's hearing needs with the hearing aid settings. This approach should provide an intuitive way for users to customize their experience.
Okay, is that all? I was expecting a longer response. Can we actually start drafting instructions for another software developer to do all the coding from scratch? Generally, we're using vanilla HTML, JavaScript. JSON files are fine, and CSS is fine as well, obviously.
Certainly. For a hearing aid tool using vanilla HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, the instructions might look like this. 1. Setup. Create an HTML structure with two main sections, one for loading the audiogram and another for the frequency gain chart. 2. Audiogram upload. Implement an input field to allow users to upload their audiogram file, JSON/XML. 3. Chart rendering. Use a JavaScript library like d3.js or chart.js to render a dual-axis chart. One axis represents frequency and the other represents gain. Allow users to manipulate data points on the chart, adjusting the gain by dragging points up and down. 5. Real-time feedback. Simulate real-time feedback by processing microphone input and applying the adjusted settings. 6. UI design. Ensure the interface is user-friendly with clear labels and an intuitive layout. Would you like to include any additional functionalities or details?
Okay, I wasn't actually listening, but yeah, sorry for that. But can you ask me quick questions about this web application? Actually, can you give a quick summary, 1-2 sentences, continuous text, and then we go and then ask questions about the design of the web application?
Sure. You're developing a hearing aid web application that lets users load audiograms and adjust gain settings through an interactive frequency gain chart, simulating a hearing aid's functionality. What key design elements do you think are crucial for making this tool both effective and user-friendly?
Well, okay, so the most important element is that the audiogram chart, which is also displaying your current hearing status, your audiogram that you generated using another tool, but also it's used as an input for adjusting your gain for the current hearing aid simulation. One, two, 1, 2.
The audiogram chart is indeed crucial, as it not only reflects the user's hearing status, but also acts as an interface for adjusting gain. How do you plan to make the chart
1,
intuitive for users who might not be
1, 1.
familiar with audiogram interpretation?
Well, you will make the audiogram very intuitive. So we'll have the audiogram as a chart, and that will be the main chart. Again, displaying. Just let's make sure it's clear. It will be displaying your hearing status, but also we'll have two graphs on it on the same chart. One that shows your audiogram, the other one will let you move data points up and down that will set the gain. So you should use two y-axis, primary and secondary y-axis, things like that. We needed no code yet. We're not generating any code. We'll actually have another developer doing the coding for us. For now, we just want a whole document with the development instructions. One, two.
Creating a clear, intuitive chart with two y-axes will be crucial for users to easily interpret their hearing status and adjust settings. If you need more detailed instructions for the developer, just let me know.
Okay, we have 5 of this. Is any of them working? Yeah, this one's actually working. Yeah, this is not volume, this is meant to be called gain. Yeah, I don't like any of those. Essentially, I don't know what that is. I mean, that was version 5. Yeah, don't like it. version, version 4. It doesn't actually work. We need to. Doesn't work. Nothing works. Had a lot of errors. Yeah, there's some sort of syntax error in version 4. Okay, version 4 can be deleted straight away. Move to trash. Version 5 is actually version 3 is it? No. Version 3 is not working. Move to trash. Version 2. Oh, yeah, it did scare me. Sorry for that. Yeah. Okay, another one super important thing that we need to somehow protect the hearing of the user. Can you specify how we should be doing that?
To protect the user's hearing, you can implement safety features like setting maximum volume limits and providing warnings if levels exceed safe thresholds. Additionally, you could incorporate a calibration step to ensure safe listening levels. Would you like more details on how to integrate these features?
Yeah, I would like to include it in the instructions for the developer. Can you generate a whole standalone set of instructions? Can you do it in continuous text? Because I'm actually using text to speech, so I would like to be able to review it properly.
Of course. For the developer, you would need to create an HTML interface with a focus on the audiogram chart, which serves as both a display of the user's current hearing status and an input for adjusting the hearing aid's gain settings. The chart should have two y-axes, with one representing the user's hearing status and the other for hearing aid gain adjustments, allowing users to move data points up and down. You'll need to implement functionality for loading audiogram files, likely in JSON or XML format, and render this data on the chart. To protect user hearing, include features like maximum volume limits and safety warnings for excessive levels. The application should also have a calibration step to ensure safe listening levels. Keep the interface simple and intuitive, with clear instructions for users on how to adjust their settings. This comprehensive approach should make the tool both effective and user-friendly.
Okay, we're kind of getting stuck. We would like, the other thing is, so yeah, we should have a simple file and folder structure if you can include this in the instructions for the developer. So we just have one JavaScript, one JSON file, one HTML, one CSS. Yes, we might be splitting the JavaScript file later on into multiple parts just in case it's getting too long. The JSON file should include the default audiogram data. So those are just simulated synthetic audiograms, and it should include a bunch of them. So like normal hearing, mild hearing loss, what's called profound hearing loss, maybe another 2 in between. So like 5 audiogram data. The audiograms should have all the frequencies between, say, 50 hertz to about to 14 kilohertz. So that should be in the instructions for the Java developer. Again, we're not generating code yet, just text, just language instructions, no code.
In summary, the hearing aid tool development instructions for the developer include creating a simple file and folder structure with one JavaScript file, one JSON file, one HTML file, and one CSS file. The JSON file should include default audiogram data representing different types of hearing loss, covering frequencies from 50 Hz to 14 kHz. The JavaScript file might be split later if it becomes too long. It's important to focus on making the audiogram chart intuitive and implementing measures to protect users' hearing.
Can you also generate the continuous text with the detailed explanation of the web application? Because I can't really read turn that text to speech. Okay, this is better.
Certainly. Here's a detailed explanation of the hearing aid web application you're developing. This tool is designed to allow users to upload their audiogram data, which represents their hearing thresholds across various frequencies. Once the audiogram is loaded, the application displays it on an interactive chart. This chart serves a dual purpose. It visually represents the user's hearing profile and allows for real-time adjustments to simulate hearing aid gain settings. Users can manipulate data points on the chart to adjust the gain for specific frequency ranges, tailoring the amplification to their unique hearing needs. The application processes live audio input, applies the user-defined gain settings, and outputs the adjusted sound through connected headphones or speakers. This real-time processing provides users with an immediate auditory experience of how different hearing aid settings would affect their hearing. To ensure user safety, the application includes features like maximum volume limits and warnings if settings exceed safe listening levels. The interface is designed to be intuitive, with clear labels and instructions, making it accessible even to those without technical expertise. The application is built using standard web technologies, including HTML for structure, CSS for styling, and JavaScript for functionality. It also utilizes a JSON file to store default audiogram data, offering sample profiles for users to experiment with if they don't have their own audiogram. This comprehensive approach ensures that users can customize their hearing experience in a safe and user-friendly environment.
the hearing web application, so I would like to hear your thoughts, pun intended. You might be hearing all the hearing puns throughout this live stream. Lots of hearing jokes. Gets really hot in the room. My server is doing like extra hours. Where were we? Okay, I'll just do a quick summary of what we are trying to do. Let's do one thing at a time. Yeah, so the name of this web application is Hearing Aid. We have a basic structure. Basic structure. We haven't been generating code in this application. So this should be self-sustained. Even if we don't have an audiogram, this should still work. Yes, we should have an existing audiograms. Yeah, so the audiograms will be important. If we can do that audiogram JSON file first, that will be great. It should have about 5 different audiograms, and one of them should be default. Now the question is, should the default be hearing loss or normal hearing? Yeah, the tool is not targeted to one or the other. The tool is actually only used for educational purposes. Well, we have to say it because it's not calibrated or anything. It's just a prototype. But yeah, I'm just saying the JSON file should have about 5 preset audiograms for different hearing loss levels, including normal to profound hearing loss. Well, for profound hearing loss, maybe you won't be even able to use a hearing aid. You will need the cochlear implant or another intervention. But yeah, long story short, can just generate the JSON file and we will go from there. We might be actually using another developer, and this developer will use it as single shot. But first we need all the instructions. Okay, we have 5 audiograms: normal hearing, mild hearing, moderate, severe, profound. Okay, frequency threshold description. Yeah, you can read about audiograms, hearing audiograms. Yeah, the frequency looks good. Threshold, yep, looks good. Okay, so as I said, the main thing for the web application is this chart that will have 2 graphs on it. One is just a static display, is the display of audiogram, and somewhere above the chart we need an option to select which audiogram we are using. Then below the chart we would have an option of selecting a pre-recorded audio file or just turning on the microphone of the device that we're currently using. Then somewhere on the front window we want to see the waveform of the audio being displayed, probably as this bars of intensity over frequency. Actually, could by any chance that be embedded? Could that be another chart, another graph within the same chart? So can we just by any chance have only one chart? We essentially trying to minimize the amount of stuff we have on the screen. So I'm thinking one chart that will show the audiogram, the gains setting that are interactive, the gains for the hearing aid, and also the bars for each frequency. When we are talking to the microphone or playing a pre-recorded sound, we want the bars going, showing how the sound looks like. Does it make any sense? Yeah, ideally we would like continuous text, but this should be fine as well.
Yes, it makes perfect sense, and your approach to minimizing on-screen clutter while combining functionalities into a single interactive chart is both practical and user-friendly. Here's a comprehensive breakdown of how the application should function, focusing on the requested features. Web Application Overview. 1. Main chart, central to the interface. Purpose: a single, multifunctional chart that integrates multiple data types. The audiogram displays the user-selected audiogram, static data. The gain settings: interactive adjustments made by the user, represented as a second line or overlay on the same chart. The audio spectrum visualization, density of frequency, real-time display of sound input-output, either from the microphone or pre-recorded audio. Features: static audiogram display, a static plot of hearing thresholds for the selected audiogram. This plot is non-interactive, but updates when the user selects a different audiogram from a drop-down above the chart. Interactive gain line. Users can drag points vertically to adjust gain settings for specific frequencies. These adjustments are visually reflected on the chart and applied to the audio processing in real time. Audio spectrum visualization. Real-time bars or a frequency spectrum overlay showing the density of frequencies in the current audio input-output. The spectrum updates dynamically based on the microphone or pre-recorded audio. 2. Audiogram selection. Placement, a drop-down menu above the chart. Functionality, displays the list of 5 preset audiograms: normal hearing, mild, moderate, severe, and profound hearing loss. Selecting an audiogram updates the static plot on the chart. 3. Audio input options. Placement, directly below the chart. Functionality. Option 1, select a pre-recorded audio file from the device. Upon selection, the file plays and its audio spectrum is displayed on the chart. Option 2, enable the device's microphone. This streams live audio input with its spectrum visualized in real time. 4. Audio waveform display. Integrated into the chart. Instead of adding a separate section for the waveform, the audio spectrum, density of frequency, is combined into the same chart. The chart will have 3 components. 1. The audiogram static. 2. The gain settings, interactive. 3. The real-time audio spectrum, dynamic. 5. Simplified design goals. Combine everything into one chart to reduce visual complexity. Use clear legends, labels, and color coding to distinguish between audiogram, e.g. blue line for thresholds; gain settings, e.g. green line for user adjustments; audio spectrum, e.g. translucent bars or a heat map overlay for frequency density. Detailed instructions for the developer. 1. Interface setup. Create a single responsive chart using a library like D3JS or Chart.js. Ensure the chart can display both static and dynamic data simultaneously. 2. Audiogram data. Load the 5 preset audiograms from the JSON file. Display the selected audiogram as a static line graph on the chart. 3. Interactive gain adjustment. Add draggable data points for the gain settings. Ensure each point corresponds to a frequency on the audiogram. 4. Audio input-output. Allow the user to select a pre-recorded audio file or enable the microphone. Process the audio data to extract the frequency spectrum. Overlay the spectrum data dynamically on the chart in real time. 5. Real-time updates. Use the device's microphone to capture live audio and update the spectrum visualization. If a pre-recorded file is selected, analyze and display its spectrum as it plays. 6. Safety features. Include volume gain limits to prevent unsafe levels of amplification. Display warnings if gain settings exceed safe thresholds. 7. User experience. Include tooltips or labels on the chart for each data point, explaining its role. Provide a clear legend for the chart, distinguishing the audiogram, gain settings, and spectrum. Example layout. Top, audiogram selection dropdown. Center, the chart audio. Here is a detailed breakdown of what your app.js file should do, written as plain instructions for the developer without any actual code. This will guide them in implementing the functionality step by step. Instructions for app.js. 1. Load the audiogram data. Fetch the audiograms.json file when the application starts. Populate the audiogram dropdown with the 5 preset options: normal hearing, mild, moderate, severe, and profound hearing loss. When the user selects an audiogram, update the static audiogram display on the chart. 2. Render the main chart. Use a charting library like chart.js or D3.js to render the main chart, that hearing chart. The chart should have the audiogram, static, as a line graph representing the user's hearing thresholds, the gain settings as an overlay, allowing users to interactively adjust points at specific frequencies, the audio spectrum visualization as dynamic bars or a heat map overlay, representing real-time audio input-output. 3. Handle audiogram selection. When a new audiogram is selected from the dropdown, update the static audiogram line on the chart.
Okay, this is actually nice. We had Claude, a single prompt, gave it the... It's actually a good step for testing the audiogram. Testing the audiograms, yeah, and we have 5 of them. We have one with hearing level, a dB, 0, normal hearing, mild loss, moderate loss, severe loss. That looks pretty good. Profound loss. To know why we had to use React for it. It's really defaulting to be using React. Don't necessarily like it. Yeah, it could be useful for a blog or something, because this one is not really active or anything. It makes a nice image as well. Don't quite understand. What this code actually is as a Python. Yes, this is visualization. Is it JavaScript? Sorry, not it's super basic. It's the level of my understanding. Is it JS? Can I just run it? Okay, so if we pop all the instructions into a new Claude, we'll have multiple files as well. What did we have? I want to generate the rest of the code. So we had the instructions and the JSON. No, sorry, and the JavaScript. Why? Okay, it doesn't actually wants to. Okay, sorry, I actually made a mistake. Meant to be JSON file. Maybe that will be clearer. Okay. Ooh. Why is this not going to a separate file now? Okay, and I'll provide the JSON file next. It's always doing React. Can you stop that? Yeah, Claude is a bit funny. Don't continue unless I provided the JSON file. Shouldn't be too hard. What do you do? Okay, please provide the JSON file. That sounds more promising. Can you ask me a question? So we're just trying to prevent it from going haywire, generating code. I noticed the JSON data enclosed frequency values range, blah blah. Okay, before proceeding, I'd like to clarify. Would you like the frequency access on the chat? to be displayed on a logarithmic scale? Okay, that's a good question actually. I forgot about that. How could I forget about that? No. This is commonly done in audiograms since human hearing perception is logarithmic in nature. Okay. Can you provide an option for logarithmic scale, but the default should be linear? Now also, can you follow the following file and folder structure as the attached in the image? What? Touch a high resolution image for better result. Man, surely you can handle that one. Surely. Okay, let's start by creating the necessary files. Build the index.html. Yep, index.html first. Is it including the CSS in it? Acknowledge. Okay. This is better than what the ChatGPT made for us. And longer. Yeah, Claude is also always defaulting to longer code, which is okay. Okay, we need the CSS as well. Yes, we do. Can we do that quickly? Yes, sounds a bit, looks a bit excessive, but okay. Why is it so long? I mean, come on. We're going to town with it. Surprised you were even able to generate all the code. Okay, yeah, nice. Why do we have to separate? Why do we have two separate JavaScript files? Can we just have one? Okay, just moving on with one JavaScript file for now. If we have to, we will split it later. If it's in coding mode, I would expect it to start generating the code. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so we just have the app.js. Yeah, which is fine. Considering the audiogram.js had this React thingy that we generated with Claude in another. Okay, that's fine. We will generate the JavaScript. Can you just make sure it's complete? And also importantly, not using React. Thank you very much. Plum, pum, pum. So it's using the Claude 3.5 Sonnet or Sonnet, whichever way you pronounce it. I don't know. Well, it's just a name, so you can pronounce it whichever way you want, but I'm not even sure that this is the correct model to use for this kind of stuff. Because I was primarily using ChatGPT before, and what we can do is run two web applications. One where the code is generated by Claudette, and another code that is generated by ChatGPT. How does that sound? How does that sound? Well, who am I even talking to? Wait a sec. So we have the hearing aid. This one is Claude. Hearing aid Claude. Then we have a copy of it. And we'll call it hearing aid GPT. And we're also using that Google thingy. We could actually talk to that Google thingy. Google thingy. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the Google AI thing. Because no human wants to talk, so I have to use that one. I have to use that one. Wait a sec. Let's just talk to that one for a sec. Share screen. Yeah,
Okay,
entire
you said
screen. Okay, wait a sec. I'm just sharing the screen.
got it. I'll wait.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. It looks like you have a text editor open with some code. There is also a chat interface on the left-hand side of your screen.
Yeah, don't worry about that. We are developing this code. Just ask me a quick question about it.
Okay, go ahead and ask your question.
No, you ask me a question.
Okay, I can do that. Based on what I see on your screen, it looks like you are working on some code related to audio and hearing loss. Is this correct?
That is correct.
Great. It looks like you have a JSON file that is defining different audio programs, each with a unique set of frequencies and thresholds. Are you working on an application that simulates hearing loss based on these profiles?
Yes, that's right. And we're trying to load it into this web application, yeah, which is a hearing aid simulator. You can see the HTML prototype on the screen at the moment.
Okay, that makes sense. So you're using the JSON file to load different hearing profiles into a web application that simulates hearing loss. It looks like you also have a volume control on the application. Is there anything specific you would like to discuss regarding the code or the application?
Yeah, Claude actually didn't generate the JavaScript.
Okay, so it seems like Claude, an AI assistant, did not generate the JavaScript code you were expecting. Is that right?
Well, at least I cannot see it.
Okay, it sounds like you're having some trouble with Claude not generating the JavaScript code you need, or you can't find it. Would you like to discuss this further, or is there anything else I can help with related to your hearing aid simulator?
Well, now it's generating the code, so we'll just wait for it. And then, yeah, we have this simple structure for the web application with just the files being in the main folder.
Okay, so the JavaScript code is now generating, and you have a simple structure for your web application with the files being in the main folder. It sounds like you are making progress with the hearing aid simulator. Do you have any further questions about the application, or would you like me to take a look at any specific code?
Okay, we have the JavaScript. Hopefully it's not too long. Well, it might actually be. It's like 400 lines of code.
Okay, you have the JavaScript code now, and it's about 400 lines long. Is there anything specific about this code that you would like to discuss?
Okay, can you explain the screen? There's something weird with the x-axis.
Sure, I can help with that. You're asking about the graph on the left side of the screen that is labeled frequency HZ on the x-axis and hearing level D.
111.
Got it.
Is it actually working? Yeah, it's working. Yeah, so we have this hearing aid simulator. We have the volume controls actually working fine, but we meant to, yeah, we need to fix the need to fix the x-axis. It's not currently displayed properly, but we'll be actually asking another developer to do the job.
Okay, so it sounds like you're having an issue with the x-axis on the frequency graph in your hearing aid simulator application. You also mentioned that you are going to ask another developer for help with this issue. Do you need any further help from me at this point?
Yeah, I need you to provide guidance as we move along.
Okay, I understand. You would like me to provide guidance as you continue working on your hearing aid simulator application. I will do my best to help. Please let me know what you need assistance with as you move forward.
Yeah, let's see if Claude can just fix the problem. What do you see on the left of the screen in the web application?
On the left side of the screen, I see a hearing aid simulator. It has a graph with a y-axis labeled hearing level, dB, and an x-axis labeled frequency, Hz. There are also drop-down menus to select the audiogram and scale type. Below the graph are controls to select an audio file and adjust volume.
Okay, so we're trying to fix this JavaScript. Just bear with me. We have another developer actually doing this.
Okay, so it seems like you're working on debugging some JavaScript code related to a hearing aid application. It looks like you have a specific part of the code you are focusing on, with another developer also involved. Do you want to tell me more about the specific issues you're trying to address?
Okay, we actually have the thing working now. The data points are not actually moving. So we need a prompt for fixing that. Yeah, if you can see what the problem is. So normal hearing is fine. That's the one loading by default. Yeah, logarithmic, switching to logarithmic seem to work well. Profound hearing loss, mania, logarithmic. Yeah, that looks great. So the app developer did a really good job. However, wait a second. Those are gains. Okay, so those are gain settings. Okay, now I get it. So the gain settings actually do work. Okay, so we have a audiogram. Yeah, if we can quickly explain it, you'll probably do a much better job at explaining this yourself. We can also test by enabling the microphone. When we enable, that doesn't work. When we enable the microphone, okay, I think we can just. It
looks like you've made.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so it looks like you've identified that the gain settings are indeed working, but that the microphone input isn't working as expected, causing an error in the console. It seems you might be ready to start tackling that next. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, selecting of the audiogram works fine. Selecting the scale type works fine. The enable microphone. Toggle microphone is not a function. Okay, so that's missing in the That's missing from the JavaScript. Okay, let's see if let's just look if we'll just wait for Claude to actually fix the code. Do you believe it will be able to do it?
Okay, so you've confirmed that the audiogram and scale type selections work, but enabling the microphone produces errors. It seems like the function toggle microphone is missing from the JavaScript code. Now you're waiting for a different program to fix the code, and then you believe you can make it work. Is that correct?
Yeah, kind of. Wait a sec. Can you read out loud the response from Claude? The one where my mouse cursor is? Yeah, something went wrong. Yeah, the AI Studio, the Google AI Studio. Yeah. It's timing me out. It's not timing me out, it's actually just...
It sounds like you're saying something is cutting you off.
No,
Is that
that's
right?
fine. Can you read the text where my mouse cursor currently is?
Sure, I can read the text where your mouse cursor currently is. It says, fix the function implementations in app.js. Or which ones would you like?
Can you actually read the highlighted text?
Yes, I can read the highlighted text. It says, update the index, HTML, to remove the incorrect script reference.
Okay, can you read this bit?
Okay, the text you've selected says, fix the function implementations in app.js. Or which one would you like me to address first?
No, we actually have another developer doing the coding for us, so we just need to prompt it correctly. What do you think the prompt should be?
Okay, it sounds like you have another developer working on the code and need to give them a good prompt. Do you want to discuss which of the issues you see in the text would be best to prompt the developer on first?
I don't know, we just need to fix this web application. There's a few issues with it at the moment. Yeah, a few, but most of it is working okay. I don't know if you can see it, so we can select here. We can, yeah, so everything actually works. Yeah, we have a full description. Actually, we would like to add a description in the HTML. Can you draft the prompt that asks another developer to add all the instructions for how to use this web application at the bottom of the HTML page?
Okay, it sounds like you want to add instructions for using the web application to the bottom of the HTML page. How about this prompt? Add a section to the bottom of the HTML page with instructions for how to use this web application. Please refer to the documentation for the appropriate information.
Yeah, the chat is getting too long with Claude. It starts complaining. That's not a good sign.
Okay, it seems like the chat is getting too long and Claude is starting to complain, and you say that is not a good sign. Do you want me to summarize the conversation so far to help get back on track, or would you like to address the issues with Claude's complaining first?
No, we actually have all the instructions. We were actually developing the code. We have two versions of the code going, one generated by Claude, one generated by ChatGPT. So we would actually like to continue with both of them, and then we will select which one is better. How does that sound?
Okay, so it sounds like you have two versions of the code, one generated by Claude and one by ChatGPT, and you want to continue with both of them and then select which one is better. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, just bear with me for a second. We have the index HTML from ChatGPT. Just actually make sure we are using it.
Okay, you said that is correct, and then asked me to bear with you for a second while you were looking at the index HTML from ChatGPT. It looks like you are now looking at the style CSS file. Is there something specific you'd like me to do or read?
No, just bear with me. Just watch as we go along. If you notice anything super weird, do let me know. Yeah, it just timed out on me because the conversation was getting too long. It seems at the moment that the one bot can not just do the whole job. Yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate. Oops. I think no, we are good. Hearing aids. So yeah, just a few organizational things. So that's the HTML for ChatGPT. This is the HTML for Claude. The ChatGPT over there. We have the style CSS for GPT. See if it's actually, yep. Looks all right. Looks all right. I forget which file we haven't generated next. We have index.html. We have the JSON file because the JSON file is common between the two, so that should be the same. And now we have a generated file for app.js script. Let's see if it can do it. Claude was getting, yeah, it starts complaining about the messages being too long. Get updated Claude, updated CSS. Okay, it's very keen on coding, and it added instructions. Currently 97 lines. Yeah, hundreds of almost double. Right, and we have instructions, which is good. Understanding the chart, your file, linear. Adjusting the gain settings, audio input option. I like it. Yeah, Claude is generating much more detailed responses. Can we have the app.js from HTTP? Is it actually doing anything new? Yeah, errors, yes. A clear chart is not defined. What? That's weird. Very weird. But we generated all the code. Again, JSON file should be the same. Just double check. 39 lines. Yep, that's the same. Are you kidding me? It is in the same folder. We have this, and we have the JSON file. Not sure what the problem is. The JSON file looks valid. Well, yeah, that's good to know. Yeah, it's actually audiogram, not the audiograms. It's really bizarre that it's not able to pick that up. The CDN. We're calling the CDN in index.html. Hope so. No, we are not. Okay, it's audiogram JSON. Okay, that HTML should have the CDN. Now, why aren't you doing it in the canvas? No idea. Okay, now we have the npm charts, which we didn't have before. Yeah, the canvas is a bit funny. It doesn't actually work as expected. Doesn't work as expected. And okay, initialize app is in JavaScript mentioned twice, and to be async. Okay, we get something. It's reverse. Okay, it will be super loud if we... What you have done? We should be able to set the gain by moving the thing up and down. Also, when we select a different audiogram, probably the gain should be changing automatically. Yeah, that's interesting. Um, What's the instructions about the enable microphone button? Advanced microphone, yes. Well, yeah, and it also doesn't work. Let's clear this for a sec. Load it. Okay. What? Some weird error. I don't know what that is. Did Claude do a better job than ChatGPT? Well, yes. Yes and no. Yeah, that funny thing is like you have to actually click on the data point and then set your level, which is, yeah, not very useful, is it? Not very useful. What happens if you set it to like 500? Yeah, it goes through the roof. That's fine. Well, because it shouldn't be setting it that high. Threshold K. Yeah. There are nans in the thing, isn't there? There's some nan values that it doesn't like. Doesn't like. Is the JavaScript complete? Is the JavaScript complete? It's not. And I'm pretty sure Claude would not be able to complete the whole code. Okay, we're trying to update the code for this hearing aid simulator. We're using ChatGPT for generating the code, but currently the select audiogram dropdown doesn't work. We need a good prompt for ChatGPT to fix that.
Okay, you are trying to update the code for the hearing aid simulator. You used ChatGPT for generating the code, but currently the select audiogram dropdown doesn't work, and you need a good prompt for ChatGPT to fix that.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so the drop-down menu for selecting audiograms is not working. Are you looking for suggestions on how to make a prompt for ChatGPT?
That's right.
Okay, to create an effective prompt for ChatGPT, you'll need to be specific about the issue you're encountering. Would you like some guidance on what to include in your prompt?
Yes.
All right, some things you might want to include in your prompt for ChatGPT are what language the code is written in, what you want the dropdown to do, and what the current behavior is. Would you like me to help you phrase your request?
Yeah, just write the prompt for me.
Okay, here is a prompt you can use for ChatGPT. I have a hearing aid simulator built with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The select audiogram dropdown is not working. The audiograms are defined in a file called audiogram.json, and I have a JavaScript file called audiogram.js that should populate the dropdown with options based on the JSON file. Can you help me debug why the options are not loading? Does that sound like what you were looking for?
We are live streaming together. Can you be a co-host of this live stream?
Sure, I can be a co-host for this live stream. Just let me know what you'd like me to do.
What do you think we are doing at the moment?
Okay, it seems like you're working on a JavaScript file to generate a chart. I can see functions to initialize the chart, update the data, and adjust gain settings. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with.
Okay, why do we need a good prompt for fixing the this HTML? Yeah, we just need an update the HTML code. Okay, just tag along. We're using another AI to develop. Yeah, just can you make any funny comments?
Okay, so you're working on an HTML page and need to update some code. It looks like you have some JavaScript code for a chart and are using another AI tool to assist with development. You're asking me if I can make any funny comments? I'm an AI, so I can't really make jokes. But maybe you can ask me to help with a particular task, and we can see what happens.
Can you make any interesting comments? Any well, not funny, something amusing. Can you make amusing comments about what you currently see on the screen?
Okay, I see that you're working on an HTML page. On the left, you have a file named index.html, and it appears to be the main page for a hearing aid simulator. On the right is index.html, again, and it looks like you're making modifications to the source code. There are script tags importing audiogram.js and chart.js. You have the different sections defined, including header, audiogram selection, main chart, audio input options, and footer. Is there anything specific about the HTML code that you'd like to discuss?
Can you make any funny comments about it?
It looks like you have some HTML code, along with a JavaScript file and an audiogram file that you are loading. I see some key updates such as script integration and dynamic imports. I see the chart is not being loaded, which might be something that you should look into. You're looking for funny comments, but I'm an AI, so my humor is limited. Is there something specific about this project I can help you with?
Okay, can you just give us a quick summary? We still have things not working, but we'll probably have to do another session on this. But currently the chart is not displaying anything.
Sure. Currently, the dropdown is working and correctly populating with audiograms from the JSON file, but the chart isn't displaying. This is likely because the current audiogram variable isn't properly set before initialized chart runs, or the chart initialization isn't receiving valid data. To fix, 1. Ensure current audiogram is assigned, e.g. set it to the first audiogram from the JSON during load audiograms. 2. Verify the initialize chart function is receiving current audiogram data and logging it. 3. Check the window.onload script initializes initialize chart only after current audiogram is set.
Yeah, I think for now
We can
it's a
dive deeper
definite
next session to iron out these remaining issues.
it's a definite winner for Claude, the current competition. Claude Code is actually working more complicated, but yeah, still giving me error messages, but it is better than what the ChatGPT generated. What do you think of that?
I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble responding right now. Please wait a bit and try again.
Yeah, okay.